Hi everybody, it's Laura from Gardening in Dairyland. It's June 26th and I'm getting around to doing a garden tour again. So I will show you my garden. There are some weeds in it, but that's just how life goes. And I've got a lot of new things to show you. Things have really grown since the last one, so I hope you enjoy. Okay, first up in this bed, we finally have peas starting to blossom. It's really late. It's supposed to be so hot next week. I don't know if they'll actually produce good peas, but there are some pods on now. Here's one. And they're still blooming, so that will be doing good. It's been a while. I'm really surprised they're doing it this late. So the cabbages are starting to head up. I did uncover them because they are having a lot of bug damage anyways, and so I can check them better. And these carrots are going to seed. These are the Pisa Asiatic black carrots from Baker Creek. They are very dark purple, so I saved some over winter in the fridge and I planted them to save seed from them. Now, normally when I see this kind of damage on the broccolis and cauliflowers and cabbages, it means there's cabbage worms, but I have looked and looked. I do not know what is causing these holes because I have not found any worms on these plants. So I'm hoping that we'll get some decent cabbage. This one's looking really good size over there. So the next row is onions. There's many varieties of onions in here, and there's even some shallots that I planted later. But there's Patterson, there is some ruby reds, which are my favorite red onions. There's some blush onions that I'm trying for the first time this year. There's some Weathersfield reds that I actually planted in with the broccolis here for seed. I think they kind of got overtaken by the broccolis, but they are in here somewhere. But anyways, the broccoli is just about done with all its main heads. We're still getting side shoots, but once the cauliflower is done, I'm going to pull these broccolis out because I'm going to plant my fall potatoes in these beds just for a rotation. So I don't let my broccolis keep doing side shoots. When they start to get really small, and once it's time to plant potatoes, I'll take them out. Over here was where I had the kohlrabis. I pulled out a lot of them because of the aphid problem I had. Unfortunately, having the netting over them made it so that the aphids just had free reign. So I pulled out some of them and left the ones that weren't too damaged. Over here is the cauliflower. It's finally starting to head up. I can show you a head over here. They're pretty small yet, but they're doing pretty good. So I'm hoping this gets a lot bigger before it starts to want to go to seed. Over here, the turnips and the leeks and the carrots. There's some carrots in here. The radishes are all starting to go to seed, but that's okay. We got spinach and more radishes in the next row. The celery's getting pretty big. The flower row is starting to give us some blooms. There's some celosia and some painted daisies blooming. The zinnias haven't bloomed yet, but they're getting there. Over here, there's ground cherries. I haven't seen any blooms on, oh, I guess there is blooms on them. See, that's a ground cherry bloom right there. And then I saw there's a little ground cherry fruit. It will actually get a lot bigger and it will turn like a yellowish brown color when it's ripe, and that's when you know when to harvest. So that's the ground cherries. Over here, the sweet potatoes. I'm trying to grow them up the trellis this year to just control the vine spread a little bit because I haven't planted pretty close to other things. They're doing pretty good. They're starting to take over. This row needs to get a little weeded too again. All right, the next row over here is the beans. They are doing really good. They've completely covered in here. There is three rows of beans here that I planted. Sometimes I do 4, but I think I only did 3 here. So there's different varieties. There's purple ones, yellow ones, and green ones. So we're just waiting for those to ripen up. And then the next 4 rows are all potatoes. As you can see, they're going to seed. I am hoping some of them will produce a seed ball. I've seen that before other years. If I see it this year, I'm going to save it for seed, just as a fun experiment. So hopefully I get a little fruit off of these potatoes. This first row here is purple ones. So, and now I'll show you my vine crops. They're finally starting to take off. So strangely enough, things on this right side of the garden were looking really yellow, and things on the left side were looking really green. So I gave all the ones on the right side a dose of fish emulsion because I think maybe the pine or the wood chips are creating somewhat of a nitrogen deficiency. So after I gave them that, they really took off. So I think that's what they needed. But everything's starting to bloom and set fruit. The cucumbers are starting to climb just a little bit here up the trellis. This is the muncher cukes, so they're a smaller one. So hopefully they'll be blooming or producing some cucumbers really soon. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the main garden. Some of the cucumber varieties I have are the Muncher and the Summer Dance. I have some green apple. I also have a quick snack that's a little dwarf one. And then I also, for pickling, I have SMR pickling cucumbers, and I also have some H19 little leaves, but not very many of those came up this year. So I'm going to go up to the tomato and pepper garden. That is going to be quite the change from the last video I shot. They've really gotten big. So I think we'll start with the peppers here. So over here, we're going to kind of go reverse order, but these are the hotter peppers, Anaheim and the early jalapeno, and then Jimmy Nardello's, which I put in the wrong spot, but they're not hot. They're actually a sweet pepper from what I've heard. These I do need to get some bagged, but they're producing some really good sized peppers already. Look at that. It's as big as my hand. That one's a new variety to me, so I will be anxious to try that one. Over here, the eggplants have gotten really big, and I see that they are starting to get some blooms. You can see one right there. It's not blooming quite yet, but it should be soon. And then the dahlias that I stuck in just because there was an empty space are blooming. They look really pretty in this row. Now these peppers are the Zulu peppers. These are a black pepper, and they really look black already. I'm not sure when to know that they're ripe. I'm not sure if they're going to turn red or stay black when they're ripe, so I'm just going to keep an eye on them. If they don't seem to get any bigger, I think I'm going to pick one just to try it. This would be the YOLO Wonder. This one will turn red eventually. Yellow Monster. It's supposed to be a really big pepper. There's not any set on it yet, but when there is, I'll give you that to look at. Wisconsin Lakes. This is a new pepper to me also. Not any real big peppers on it yet, but as you can see, I have this one netted because I'm trying to save the seed of as many varieties as I can this year. This one here is Violet Sparkle. Now this one starts out yellow, turns to a purple like this, and then it will eventually turn to a dark reddish purple. So that one's got a little ways to go. I have grown that one before. This is the Tam jalapeno. It's a mild jalapeno. This one is really good. I use this one in salsa because my family doesn't like very spicy things. This one here is a Sunbright. It's supposed to be a yellow pepper. It hasn't produced any fruit yet. This is a sweet chocolate. So these will turn brown. You can see they're starting to turn a little bit here. So that's the sweet chocolate. These are sweet banana peppers. I'm really hoping that these are actually sweet. Last year, the sweet banana peppers I planted were actually super spicy. I ended up giving them to my cousin because my kids could not eat them. I felt so bad when I gave them the pepper and said, here, you can have these peppers, they're good. And their mouths started burning. I felt so bad. Right over here is the shishito peppers. I really like these peppers. They're just great snacking peppers. And you can pick them green like this one is ready to eat already. So I might pick that one later for lunch. Next up is Sienna Glow. This is one that Emma Garner had. It's a newer one. It's a purple. I planted this one late because I had poor germination. Like they didn't come up, so they sent me a fresh pack of seeds, which I really appreciated because I really wanted to try this purple pepper. Up here is Pippin's Golden Honey. Now I've got to tell you about this one because it was a pretty interesting story of how I got this pepper. So this Pippin's Golden Honey was a pepper that I had marked in the Baker Creek catalog that I wanted to try this year. And then when we got this year's catalog, it wasn't available anymore. It wasn't on the website. I was really disappointed that I'd missed my chance to try Pippin's Golden Honey. So my cousin ordered the Baker Creek order for both of us. We combined the order, and she sent me a picture when she got the order. She's like, look what we got. They sent us as our free seed variety the Pippin's Golden Honey. I was so thrilled. I'm really excited to try these. I really hope they taste good. They're a really pretty plant. So I am really excited to be able to try these this year. Okay, so here we go. Now we're going to go in alphabetical order because we're going the opposite way, but that's okay. This is Advojarski. That one hasn't really produced peppers, but it is blooming. This is a new variety to me. It's supposed to be a really nice red pepper for grilling or roasting. Now these next few peppers here, I'll say Anna, and this is because my 6-year-old had a pepper from the grocery store that she said was just the sweetest pepper ever, so she saved the seeds from it, and we planted them. So she's got all these pepper plants. We have no idea what variety they are. We are hoping they will be good peppers. We don't even know what color they might end up being because of cross-pollination in the fields. But this one is a good, she is so excited about these. She can't wait for them to have peppers on. Oh, look what I found here on this pepper. See if I can get it without, look at there. It's a ladybug larvae. Those are good to have around. Let me see if I can get it to focus. I think you can see it. So those are ladybug larvae, and they love to eat aphids, and they are a big help to me this year. I have so many aphids on everything. So I'm glad to see I've got some help coming. All right, this one here is the Big Daddy Red Pepper. This one is a new variety to me. I got this one from a seed exchange. So this one I definitely have to save the seeds from, so that's why it's in here, but I think I've got an aphid problem in that bag. So I will pull this bag off and put a fresh bag on a cleaner set of blossoms to save that seed, because as you can see, the aphids are just crazy on that leaf. So okay, the next one here is Big Red. This one I have planted before. It's just a red pepper. Oop, 3-year-old's here. She'll be 3 in July. She's almost 3. Don't pick it. It's not ready yet. We're trying to teach her when to pick things and when not to. Okay, the next pepper here is Blot. This one I think I got to get out of the bag because it's getting too big. But this is a new variety too. This one is supposed to be different colors. I think it ripens to orange or purple. I don't remember exactly, but I'm excited to grow that new variety. Come on, Naomi. This one over here is Chocolate Beauty. I just picked it because it was a brown variety. I'm just trying some different colors. This one has not produced much fruit yet, and it's a new variety for me. This next one is Corno di Toro Red, or Rosa. This one is a new one to me. I grew the Corno di Toro Yellow last year, and it was a really good pepper. We liked that one a lot. Huge yellow peppers, kind of like a banana pepper shape. So I'm giving the red one a try, and then here's the yellow ones. This one would be Dulce di Bergamo. This is another one I got from the seed exchange, so I will be saving it. There's a bag on that one. So this one hasn't produced fruit yet, but I think it's supposed to be a long yellow pepper from my research. I'm not 100% sure. Next up is Dulce di Espinal. I think is how it's pronounced. It's a large pepper, another red one, of course. This next one here is Freckled Plum. This is another new M.I. Gardner one. It's going to have purple fruit also. Oh, here's one that's on the plant over here. So that one's purple already. I think it's going to get a little bit mottled with red by the time it's ripe. So I'm excited to try that one. Next up, I have the Hungarian Giant. So this one's the Hungarian Giant. Just supposed to be a large pepper from what I know. I'm just trying a lot of different sweet pepper varieties, trying to find the best one for my area. Careful, baby. She always wants to step over the strings for some reason. Okay, so this next one here is Jolene's Rustic Italian. This is another one I got from that seed swap. So this one I'll be saving seed from too. This one is also supposed to be a longer frying type pepper. This one over here is Lemmy's Italian, and whoops, something looks like it took the bite off the end of that. But look at how big that pepper is already. This one will eventually turn red. It's a new variety, but I'm just impressed by how long these peppers are. They're just huge. Okay, this one would be the lipstick pepper. This one will turn red. I'm hoping to maybe use that for paprika. It's a new variety also. This one here is the Lycia pepper, I think it's pronounced. It makes a big heart-shaped red pepper. Here's a little fruit that's on it. It's not ripe yet, but I have grown this one before. In fact, this is from seed I saved last year. They're really thick-walled red pepper and just really delicious. These over here are the Murasaki purple, and these plants have dark purple leaves. I'm really excited to see what the fruit is going to look like. Look at these flowers even are really purple. And then at the end here I have some natapinos. Again, a not hot jalapeno for my kids that don't like hot things. Okay, so this last row of peppers is like my tried and trues, the ones I plant multiple plants of because they're just the favorites here. To start off with, this is Paradixum alicu. This one is from Baker Creek. It's a small, orange, squat little pepper. It's very good. It's thick-walled. I really like this one. Last year, I only got maybe 2 or 3 of these peppers before it got too cold for them, so I gave them a little bit more of a head start this year, and they're looking really good so far. So I planted 3 of these here to be able to get some more of these peppers and give them a real fair trial. Next up, I have the Keystone Resistant pepper. These I did plant last year, and they were a really good plain red bell pepper. They got really big. They were nice and meaty. We like these a lot, so I planted 4 or 6 of those. I don't remember exactly. And then next up is what I call my grandma peppers. These are peppers that my grandma always grew. They are the sweetest, most delicious peppers. Everyone who tries them just loves them. I give out so much seed for these peppers. My grandma calls them Gubin peppers. She got these seeds many years ago when she took a dehydrating class. So I don't know how long she's had these seeds. The lady who did the dehydrating class had these peppers. It was a family heirloom. And my grandma has saved the seed ever since. And so her variety is probably a teeny bit different, you know, more kind of a land race. But she always only grew these peppers so that she could save the seed. So now I am growing them too. I plant a lot of these. I have over 20 plants of these just because they're my favorite. And these plants are quite productive too. Normally there's more peppers than plant on these plants. Like here, this one's already got 3 good sized peppers on. There's 1, 2, and 3 there. And such a small plant. So a lot of this row is grandma peppers. And then this pepper here is called a Tuda, I believe it's pronounced. This is one I got from Baker Creek. I've been growing this one for several years. It's like the second favorite pepper for my family that I grow. It's a large orange pepper. It has a little bit of a different taste. It's very, very sweet. We actually pick them when there's still a little bit of green on them because when they're solid orange, they are super sweet. They don't have, they're almost so sweet they're bland, if that makes any sense. But I've been saving the seed for these. My family really likes them, so I grow a bunch of those each year also. Down here, this one is new to me, but it sounded good, so I planted several of these. This is the Emerald Giant variety. It's just supposed to be a large green bell pepper. It looks very productive. This one has 4 peppers on already. You can see them there. So that one's kind of a new one, but it sounded so good I planted extra of those. And then the last peppers in this row are these. These are the Ahi Cachucha, I believe is how it's pronounced, pepper. I tried these for the first time last year, and they are my absolute favorite pepper. I like to put peppers in my scrambled eggs, and these are my favorite. They've got a little bit, I don't know if it would really be called heat, but it's just a little bit of a bite to them. They're pretty small, only about this big around, real flat, looks like a spaceship. Really pretty, lots of peppers once it gets going, but they are slow starters. These plants were planted at the same time as the rest of the pepper plants, and they are only about 6 inches tall. But once they get going, they produce so many peppers. I had these peppers in the freezer until I think I just used up the last ones this past couple weeks. So they lasted me quite a while. So I'm really glad I have these growing again this year. So this next row here is all paste tomatoes. They're all the Mariana paste tomatoes. This is what my grandma always used for paste tomatoes. So I'm giving them a try this year now that I'm doing more paste tomatoes. The first 4 are from Young's. That's where my grandma always got them from. The rest of the row is from a place called Seeds and Such. I'm just planting them side by side to see if there's any difference in the variety. And because with Seeds and Such, I could get a bigger pack. So that's why I bought some from there. Just making sure they're the same thing as what my grandma used. Okay, so this next row of tomatoes here starts out with the Royale paste tomato from my gardener. As you can see, they're kind of a pleated shape. Seems to be pretty productive. Not as many tomatoes on right now as what I would have thought, but these newer clusters, I mean, look at how many blossoms are on there. They will be really loaded. So I have quite a few of those. And then down here, this one here is a Mountain Princess. I'm really impressed with this tomato. It's the first time I've ever grown it. I actually bought it because it's supposed to be a more cold hardy tomato. I thought I could possibly grow it in my greenhouse, but look at all the tomatoes this thing set already. It is so many. Both plants are just loaded. Look at all the little ones coming on this one. So this one is one I'm definitely hoping tastes good so I can keep growing it because it produces so much. This next one here is a Perrin. This is just a plain old all-purpose tomato. I grew this one last year. It produced a lot of tomatoes, just round, red, your average typical tomato. Next up is the Bubblegum Centiflora from M.I. Gardner. Centiflora means it sets a lot all at once. And there's 4 on this one piece here. They're going to turn out to be like a pinkish purple with a cream when they're fully ripe. So it just looks like a really pretty tomato. The whole plant is real wispy and delicate looking. That one's pretty. This one here is M.I. Gardner's Mad Hatter. And these tomatoes are just absolutely black. And this tomato plant is just loaded down with these tomatoes. And it's still going. It actually tipped over here. But just so many of them. I'm guessing they're going to turn a little bit red and get soft. I keep pinching them every day to see if they're ripe yet because I'm anxious to try them. This one here is called Camilla Determinate. This is one I got from a seed exchange. So I just have to grow these to send some seed back and get to try the variety. This one also sets a lot at one time. It's not a real big plant. It's a determinate, so I'm just guessing this might be about as tall as it gets, but it looks like it should produce a lot of fruit. This one here is White Tiger number 2. This was another one I got from that seed exchange. This one grew, and then it was just with single stalk. It died back. You can see some of it here where it's all died back. And then it regrew, and it's really bushy now. It hasn't set any fruit yet, but there's a lot of blossoms on it, so I'm assuming it will pretty soon. I think it's going to be kind of a cherry tomato type, but I'm not 100% sure on this one. Next up here, let me just look at the tag. Oh, this is the Subarctic Plenty. This is another one I is supposed to be very cold tolerant. Supposedly, as long as you can keep this plant from freezing, it will keep producing tomatoes. It is a determinate variety. This one I really hope will work in my greenhouse over winter. So that's why I'm growing it here, just to give it a try and see what the flavor's like. And then this one here is a way ahead from young seeds. My grandma always grew these. She uses them to make like her tomato juice and everything. So I plant these because they just taste like grandma's house to me. So that's why I grow those. This next row on this end starts with a San Marzano. This one is the only one I grew. It was from some very old seed. So I'm going to save the seed on this one and give it a try. See, I'm trying different paste tomatoes to see which one I like best this year. Next to it, I'm pretty sure starts my alpacas. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's one. The alpaca is another paste tomato. Although this guy doesn't. But anyways, this guy doesn't look like an alpaca. I might have gotten that seed mixed up. But the rest of these are alpacas. They're just a long, meaty paste tomato. You can kind of see they're like an oblong shape here. I have grown those before and was really impressed by them. They're really thick and dry and meaty. Should make a really good sauce. Over here is a white cherry. This one I grew last year also. It's just a large whitish yellow cherry tomato. I just grow it for a different color in cherry tomatoes. It tasted pretty good. Over here is another one from M.I. Gardner. This one is Tangerine Crim. See if I can find some fruit here. It's pretty packed in there. They're kind of big for a cherry tomato, but they're supposed to be really good tasting, real snappy and juicy. So I'm hoping this is one that my family likes. I like trying new varieties. This one here is what I call a mystery tomato. My cousin got some tomatoes from a farm market. We don't know what variety they are. She gave me one and she took one and we saved the seeds from them. So we're thinking it might be possibly a Brad's Atomic Grape. It probably could be crossbred also. So we just call it the mystery tomato. Okay, over here, this one is Thornburn's Terracotta. This is a new tomato that I heard recommended on Roots and Refuge Farm YouTube channel. And so I'm excited to try this one. I know she says it has just a great flavor and it's one of her favorites. So this next one here is Sun Gold. This is a cherry tomato. This is actually the non-hybrid version of Sun Gold. It's actually called Sun Gold Select 2. I have grown these before. My kids really enjoy these. It makes a lot of nice little orange tomatoes that are very sweet. Next up here is Solar Eclipse. This is going to be a green or a yellow with dark shoulders tomato. I don't know if you can see. I'll try to find one that's not in a bag. Here we go. So again, a really, really productive tomato. This one's from M.I. Gardner. So this should turn yellow and have the purple shoulders. It just looked really pretty, so I wanted to try that one. And then this one here is Paul Robeson. It's just an old heirloom slicer tomato, so that one is, I'm pretty sure I haven't grown this one before, so this one is new to me. And then this last row was where I started, so starting with A. So this is the Abe Lincoln tomato. Just a basic classic red slicer. Doing pretty well. Over here, this one is a black cherry tomato. The reason it's right here and not with the rest of the cherry tomatoes is I had a black Russian planted here first. That plant died for some reason, so I put the black cherry here. And it's doing well. This has really good tasting, purpley looking cherry tomatoes. My grandma introduced me to them, and so I've been growing them for 2 or 3 years now, and I really like them. This is my black Russian tomato. I am not quite sure with this plant if this is normal. All of its leaves are curled in. Pretty much every leaf on the plant. It doesn't seem to matter if it's been watered or not watered, but it keeps growing. Like even the new growth is very curled. So I'm not sure if this is diseased or if this is normal for this plant, but I'm going to give it a try and see what the fruit looks like. Next up is Pink Berkeley. This is my absolute favorite tomato to eat so far. It makes really good sized tomatoes. They're pink, and then they have like these green metallic stripes on them. Really interesting to look at and really delicious. One of my absolute favorites. Next up is Boxcar Willie. Now this tomato I did plant. I've had this one for a couple years. It's just a really nice red tomato. Real good flavor. It's usually one of the first ones to ripen for me. Next up is Costoludo Genovese. Now this tomato is what my husband likes the best on his salads because it's so meaty. Not a lot of juice. And they're kind of a pleated shape also. They're kind of a small tomato, but like I said, he really likes them on salads, so I grow them for him. And then the next one here is Dr. Witchy's. This one is new to me this year. It's a large yellow tomato from what I've heard. It's supposed to have really good flavor. So I'm excited to try that one. I have 2 plants of that. Over here is Emerald Giant from M.I. Garner. These plants are like really lanky and wild looking, but they're going to be a green and purple shouldered tomato. So I kind of got this one because I wanted to try a green one, but I'm not really ready to commit to a fully green tomato because I'm just nervous about knowing when it would be ripe. So I went with this one, and it looked pretty cool with the purple shoulders. 2 of those plants. And then over here I have the Great White Tomato. This one is a large, light yellow, creamish colored tomato. We really enjoyed this one last year. It has a different flavor than the red tomatoes, but it's delicious, and we especially like mixing it with the regular pink tomatoes. We put a slice of pink and a slice of the white, and it is really good. And here's my Independence Day tomato. I put it in the indeterminate row because the packer said it was indeterminate, but this is the top of the plant right here. It's only about maybe 18 inches, 2 feet tall. I think this one actually is a determinate, but it is going to give me some ripe tomatoes by the 4th of July. I'm sure of it. There was one that was riper than this one. My 3-year-old picked it off, but it was my first colored tomato that I had this year. And then this last one here is Moscovich. This is another supposedly cold hardy one. So, I'm just giving it a try to see if the flavor is something I like. So as a possibility for growing in the greenhouse. So that pretty much wraps up the garden tour. I do have the orchards, but I'll do that in a different video. I did have to redo the tomatoes because I made a mistake when I was filming it the first time, and I just wanted to fix that mistake and do it better. So now it's at night and you get a sunset view in the background. I also have tomatoes and stuff in the green stalks. I can show you those really quick. So this one here is the patio tomato. It's doing really well. It's staying in its cage pretty good. This one here is the micro tomato. It is very tiny. Look, it's starting to bloom, and they're just itsy bitsy little blooms. This one here is another patio. Oops, I might have had them mixed up. This one is the patio. It's the one that's not in its cage very well. This one here is the wacky. I don't know. It's some weird Australian type name. There it is on the tag. And it's not even, I messed it up when I was writing it. So this one is supposed to be a nice dwarf tomato, but he's getting pretty big for being a dwarf. This one here is the 101,000 micro tomato. This one was supposed to be a really small tomato. He's getting pretty big, but he is supposed to kind of be like a hanging basket tomato. And you can see that he's starting to really droop down. So I'm excited about that one. Look at all the blossoms in a cluster. It'll be a lot of nice little red cherry tomatoes. Okay, this guy here is Orange Hat. That's just your typical little tiny orange tomatoes. And I think that's all that's on this one. And then I've got my blueberries netted here as I go over to the other green stalk. They're netted to keep the baby out and the birds as they're starting to turn blue. I hope you can see that there through the netting. We've got some blue ones there. So that'll be a yummy addition to our table. Then over here, this one is mostly just peppers. This one, I somehow lost the tag or didn't write it down, so I don't know what this pepper is, but it's a really small little pepper, but it has really big fruit. Look at that. It's as big as my hand. So I'm going to go back and look at what I've all planted for peppers this year and see if I can figure out what that guy is. This one here is an albino bullnose. Of course, my petunias. And my spinach that's going to seed, but I'm going to pull these out soon. They're pretty well done. Another albino bullnose. This one here is Snackabelle. Was supposed to be somewhat of a dwarf plant, but that one's getting pretty big also. This one is the orange mini bell. That one's doing pretty good. Oh, and in case you didn't know, all these ones that are bagged are ones that I'm going to save seed from. So I put a bag over it to make sure that there's no cross-pollination so that I get pure seed. This one over here is the red snack pepper. This one is lunchbox orange. And this one here is one of my red skin. He doesn't look super happy. He's a little yellow, so I'm going to give him a little boost in nitrogen and see if that helps him. But he is one that I grew from some old seed. And as far as I know, this variety of pepper is discontinued. It's a dwarf red pepper. So that is all the peppers I think that are on here. Oh, I maybe didn't show you this one. This one is the yellow mini bell. And this one looks to be very productive. Okay, so I think I'm going to end my garden tour here. So I've showed you pretty much all the main garden stuff. There are raspberries that are ripe, so my kids have been picking those. And the garlic is making its scapes. So those will be getting cut off soon, and we'll be harvesting that in just a few weeks. So that's pretty exciting. And I will give you a tour of the orchards another time. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.